The video gives me chills every time I watch it. Taylor, thanks for doing this. The first question is scripted, the rest is not. But how did you accidentally fall into franchising? How did you get into franchising and become a franchisee in the first place?
Okay. Well, that's I guess you could say I was pushed into it. Franchising's been a family business. Started with my father with Whataburger, and it's kind of just spiraled from there. He became a franchisee with Whataburger in 87, and that's 88, not 87. But and it kind of just went from there. He grew up around the Whataburger brand, when it was the same size as Layne's is now. So he got to kind of watch that growth and watch the Dobson family kind of make Whataburger what it is, and grew great relationships with the family, and it really the best thing about franchising, and while he enjoyed it, it just feels like a family. It's a group of people growing a brand and pushing for the same thing. Everybody's trying to get that same direction going.
What point did you get involved in the family business?
Well, this could go. This could be a long story, but we'll go the short route. We'll jump up to I was 16. I started officially started working in stores while I was still in high school, and it started with my summer job. I was told as soon as I got a car, you start working. And of course our GMs loved it because it was free labor for them. So let's make it work as much as we can, right?
There's as long as the government doesn't hear that point. No free labor.
Listen to that. Yeah, we'll bleep that part out, right?
So out of curiosity, at 16, which is when you officially get involved in business, how many stores did your dad own at that point?
At 16, we had right at 10.
Okay, and how big did the portfolio get?
We've grown it from there till now to 23.
Okay, awesome. So at 16, though, and I'm curious because at that point you're probably still dreaming of other stuff. Obviously, there's some benefit of being involved in the family business, but one, do you understand that your dad put blood, sweat, and tears to go from 1 to 10? But do you understand, did you understand just how hard he had to work to get to that point?
I can honestly say the 1 to 10 was the hardest part. I came in at a good time, and that ball was already rolling, and it was picking up steam going downhill. But it is, franchising's, it's not a standoff investment, especially in the restaurant franchising. You're in there every day. You're working with these GMs, these team members every single day, and if you're needed, your phone rings and you're there. Especially with Whataburger being 24 hours, there's no off days. Now, given where we are now, it's a little bit more lenient, given the size and the structure that we've put in place to kind of relieve some of that tension. But franchising is tough, especially in the restaurant world.
All right, so you're 16, you're involved in the business. Do you leave the family business at all, or did you stay committed?
So I stayed in the restaurants for about until I graduated high school. After I graduated high school, I went to UT Tyler here, and then we kind of moved to a different aspect of the business. It was time to learn some different things. So I moved here into the office. I started understanding that aspect of it. And then after 6 years after that, I graduated my master's. And then after that point, I moved back into the stores into a director style role until I did that for right at 4 years. And then I moved into the role I am now.
Have you had the time to reflect and find pride in obviously what you guys built there?
It probably not as much as I should. It just keeps going. You know, the goal is to always keep pushing forward and keep getting better every single day. And I'm blessed to have the team around me that has that same desire. And it's really neat to watch see where we were and where we are today.
What's your dream now?
You know, now we've reached our max. I say our max. We got a few more stores we can open in our territories for Whataburger. We're gonna fill out that ADA, and then we've now signed on with Layne's for our 25 store deal, and we're ready to grow that brand and see it grow from you know the small brand it is today and see what it can become.
Do you feel like Layne's is your turn? I mean, obviously, like you've worked hard with Whataburger, but is Layne's your turn to say, okay, and you can reflect back even in your opening statement of, I watched Dad get into Whataburger when it was the size of Layne's. Like, is this your turn?
You could say that. You could say that the thing that excites me about Layne's is the team member or the guys that are on board with it right now. You know, just yesterday we met with two of the other franchisees, and we're sitting there, and there's a level of excitement that's there because it's new and because they're still trying to figure things out, and ideas get bounced around nonstop. It was just constant feedback and talking and working through problems and trying to figure out exactly what the best path is to really build this brand and enhance it and make it what we believe it can be.
So out of curiosity, did you find Layne's accidentally? Did they reach out to you? Like, how did you get into even wanting to diversify the portfolio?
Yeah. So we saw our territory was getting slim with Whataburger, which we're still trying to grow and still trying to get more territory to this day. We're just trying to figure out which areas work for us. But we kind of saw in our East Texas market that was getting pretty tight. So we started looking around, trying to see brands that would really fit who we are and see who could, you know, have the same aspirations as us and as Whataburger and kind of in the beliefs and see who was out there. And we looked at a number of brands, and there just wasn't ever one that kind of felt like, hey, this is over the top. This is it. It was always, you know, yeah, they're cool. It's a good brand. It feels okay. There was always a little something that wasn't there. And I was eating lunch with our real estate guy, and we're sitting there talking, and he's like, he mentioned Layne's. He said, "Have you heard of Layne's?" I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he kind of went on and on. He said, small brand, College Station. And he just kind of, he led us on there. He said, I got a contact. Why don't I let you contact him? And I sent it out, and Samir reached back to us. And it just happened to be when he reached back, I was heading down to San Marcos, which go right through College Station, right through there. So I swung by there and kind of sat down with him. He introduced me to the brand and who they were, and just talked to him. And you know, he had everything we were looking for. It was, you know, the concept, their product mix, what their goals were. Everything just kind of bounced off and was what we were striving for. And so we kind of sat there, and we parted ways, and we went down there. And the whole time I'm down in San Marcos, I couldn't get my mind off of Layne's. So we come back, and about, I bet it was another 3-4 weeks, finally reached back out to him. So, hey guys, let's talk about this again. So I went up, met Garrett, entire family. And it's just the passion of these guys and the direction that they're pulling. It was amazing. It's just exactly what we were looking for.
I mean, whenever I've talked with a franchisee and really try to break it down into what pushes them over the edge, it seems like there's only two things. It's like, I need to be a culture match, which I can break it into layers. and I need a good business model. Like when those two align, it's like it's not overly hard to sell franchises when you do those things. Another thing that I'm going to give my manifesto on them in a second, but when I hear Garrett say protect the brand, protect the franchisees, I'm like,
yeah.
I mean that's hard to find, like that mindset in another business, you know.
Yep. Yes, sir. And Layne's has that, which at their size is what they need. They have the family style atmosphere. You walk in there. I call Garrett today. You pick up the phone. Anything I needed to be here. Call Samir. Same thing. And it's beginning to, as we get more, these franchisees are coming on. It's the same thing. If there's a question, a problem, they answer right off the bat, like, hey, we're having that same issue. Let's meet. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we can fix and see what we can figure out and how we can push through it. And when you have a group of people like that and a brand like Layne's, it's good things are going to happen.
All right. So here's what I see. And I can't call myself an outsider because I have an intimate view into the business. And this is it's complex what I'm going to say, because I've been in franchising now for 20 years, and I don't know that I've ever seen this. You have owners who call it the founders in the sense of founding of the franchise, who are very well capitalized, so they don't need to sell franchises. And so if I start there, that's rare for a brand this size, because most franchisors at this size need to sell franchises, keep the lights on. Then I get into, okay, their expertise is real estate selection. So they're not going to go into a bad location or get a bad deal. So you're talking about how do we get the building up, or how do we negotiate the lease on the land or the building? Then you hire Samir forever. I love the guy. He comes into any business that he goes into and he goes, all right, first I'm going to save what they pay me in salary. So let me work my magic on supply chain. And then let me go operationalize the business. And if he doesn't have any pressure to go sell franchises, now he's got time to get that right. And so then you get to the end of this, and the product's pretty damn good.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, I've never seen a franchise that has all of these components. And then you can also say, like, Garrett and Matt don't bring an ego to the table. They're just like fun, nice human beings. It's like, I don't know that I've never seen this. How does that connect with you?
It's definitely special, and if I could put it in a way, it's the same culture that the Whataburger, the previous brand, or our other brand. It's the same culture. It's the same thought process. It's the same. It mirrors each other so much, and we've all seen what that brand can grow to, and it's just, these guys. It's impressive. That's really the only word for it. And I'm very excited to see where they can take this thing.
All right. So 88 to now to get up to 23 stores. That's a healthy timeline to build up that portfolio. Is there a sense of almost FOMO here with Layne's? Are you accelerating faster on the 25 than the pathway of a Whataburger?
We are going to accelerate a lot faster, but I wouldn't say it's a FOMO part. I think it's more of a organizational structure type area.
Mm-hmm.
When the 1 to 23 on his side, it was him starting from scratch, building a team, and putting everything in place to make sure that flows. To where now we have everything in place. We have all the structure. We understand how to operate restaurants, and we have the people behind us to do it. So that's really what's going to accelerate it. We're hoping right now we'll open 4 next year for sure. We're going to shoot for 5. And if you would have told me that 10 years ago, I would have said you're crazy. There's absolutely that's a bad idea. But with the people that we have in place, and the support that I feel solid Samir is going to give us from a supply chain structure, we think the only thing slowing us back will be finding the correct locations.
Which is a good governor to have, because you definitely like to say like we're not going to sacrifice location for the for the badge of opening up that next restaurant. That turns into magic. So two final questions on this portion. One is, like, if you're looking in the mirror, weird question, but you're looking in the mirror, do you call yourself a franchisee? Do you call yourself a restaurant operator? Do you call yourself an entrepreneur? Like, what do you identify as? What's your business pronoun?
That's a hard one. I guess the easiest answer is I look at us as franchisees. And when I say that, I personally believe that word is it all comes down to the teams you're working with. And when I say franchisee, it kind of mirrors family to me. And that's important. And that's kind of the aspect I want. I want to make sure that, we keep everything. We want to keep that niche or that bubble. We want to keep it together to where we can continue to call each other, and franchisees continue to get closer and closer, and we are like a family, and that's important.
Multi-unit franchisees are seen as obviously like cream of the crop when it comes to franchising. Multi-unit, multi-brand franchisees are even a step above. So you've built this tremendous career. Therefore, you have this credibility alongside you to now you're duplicating what you've already accomplished once. If there's someone out there that hasn't seen a Layne's for whatever reason, because the footprint's not large, but looks similar to you, and they've built up a portfolio, what do you think they should know about this opportunity?
About Layne's?
Mm-hmm.
The one of the best parts about Layne's is the product. And when I say that, it's not just the food being great. So food's great. Everything about it, from the chicken, the fries, the toast, everything's just wonderful. But the important part to understand is the simplicity of the menu, and the goal for Garrett and Samir and the team and all the franchisees to make sure that it stays the simplistic style, so we can constantly put out that great product. A lot of the brands go out there and they want to be okay at a bunch of different things. Well, Garrett and Samir want to be the best at one thing, and that's at chicken tenders. Yeah. And that speaks volumes.
Well, look, I appreciate you sharing some of your story. Clearly, you've accomplished a tremendous thing. So has your family. I love that you continue to go back and talk about the family and team. Like that's the right ego in business, and in my opinion, and that creates success and obviously builds wealth and opportunity. So I'm grateful that you shared some of your story with us today, Taylor.
Well, great, Nick. Thanks for having me.
Love it. For Taylor, I'm Nick. This is another episode of Meet the Z.